Xavier Leslie here. Thanks very much for joining us, Dave. I'm going to ask a couple of questions here. Where did you start? How old were you when you started with the club?
I came through the juniors, so in the under-13s. So I started playing then and went on to under-15s and thirds. But I was at 16, I think it was, just turned 16, played my first senior game.
And do you have a favourite memory from that first senior game?
Well, we lost, so it wasn't that exciting after it. But it's just always exciting playing your first senior game, and obviously being fairly young. No matter what level it is, your first senior game is always something to look forward to, and it's something I can still remember who it was against, Wayne Rovers, and playing against the likes of Robbie Walker and these sort of blokes. It was something to look forward to.
Speaking of Robbie Walker, he's probably one of the greatest players we've played against in the last 20 years. Do you have another player who you've seen to be a great player in your eyes?
Yeah, Robbie's he's definitely a standout, even though I probably played against him when he was sort of towards the end of his career, but watched him certainly growing up, and he was unbelievable. There's also John McCormick, who played on. He certainly ran me ragged a couple of times, taught me a couple of lessons, so he's probably another standout.
Dave, who would you rate as the greatest influence on your career?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Probably my grandfather, I'd say.
And we speak of John James, the Brownlow medalist from Carlton.
Yeah. He was always very sort of intense, and he was pretty just loved his footy, obviously, with the background he had. So he was loved coming across from Robinvale and seeing quite a few games, and showed a lot of interest from a young age.
Dave, who would be your best roommate to have on a footy trip?
Don't know about the best, but my worst is certainly Mick Stevens.
Yeah,
I had the pleasure of rooming with him in Bali on a footy trip, and woke up during the middle of the night and he's actually sleepwalking in bed. Found him in bed with me, so that was always a bit of a worry. But the best, I don't know, but he's certainly one that stands out as being the worst, so I'll make sure I don't room with him ever again.
Dave, do you have an embarrassing moment on the footy field?
Probably one which the boys gets talked about quite a bit is up at Wodonga Bulldogs a couple of years ago. I tried to tell the boys to push back a little bit, trying to unleash a big top, and it came off my boot about 15 metres, so it's always a talking point, especially after we've had a few beers.
Can you share a funny moment from a footy trip that you can share on camera with us tonight?
Look, it's endless really. I suppose when you go on footy trips with the likes of Saucehead and Dykes and these sorts of blokes, you're always sort of laughing and amused, but there's probably a few that obviously can't really say. But there's no sort of particular moment, I suppose. But as I said, just sitting around, you can laugh all day at blokes like that.
Now, Zay, 200 senior games. What does the club mean to you going forward from here?
It's meant a lot, since day one, I suppose. It's been my home club, so to be able to start playing juniors and come right through to this point, it obviously means a lot. And the fact now I've got a daughter, and see her around the club, and the family. Although the premierships have been certainly a highlight, there's no doubt about that. You sort of, once you do get on a little bit more, you understand that footy's not the be all and end all like you probably did think it was once upon a time. But it's just that sort of family atmosphere now that you really look forward to after the game, just getting up there with all the crew, family and friends, and certainly seeing all the young ones come through now and still successful. It's something that you hold in high regard.
And Zay, just to finish off, do you see yourself coaching in the near future or down the track?
I don't know. It's something I always did think about. I've probably leaned away from it a little bit more in recent years. I suppose it's just a time thing. You've got to put it, don't matter what level of footy it is, you've got to put copious amounts of time into coaching, and it's almost as if you've got to be a counsellor these days with coaching, just the way it's sort of evolved. But it's something that I definitely won't disregard, but it's probably, I just wouldn't mind probably playing the career out and see how it goes, but you never say never, I suppose.
Right, thank you very much. Dave, all the best. Congratulations on your career so far. We hope to see you at 250. All the best for Saturday and the rest of the year. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.